Welcome everyone who's joining us on this webinar, my franchise funding options webinar. I'm Rich Greer, your franchise broker, and I'll be taking you through the various slides today to review franchise funding options that most people don't know are available to them. Just a little housekeeping: if you haven't already completed the business assessment, please do so in time to give me the time necessary to review the assessment report, conduct the research for the right franchises to present to you with your unique business goals and acumen, and allow time for me to reach out to the franchises to determine if they have availability in your area and to create the research presentation slides for you. It shouldn't take more than 15 to 20 minutes to take the assessment, and please feel free to share the link to that assessment with your spouse or any potential partners. And another webinar presentation will go over that assessment so you'll have a better idea and understanding how that assessment helps me in researching the right franchises for you. I welcome your questions today, and please key any questions into the chat box. We'll be holding the questions to the end. If I don't get to your question, or if you're viewing this presentation and recording, feel free to write or call me with your questions. My contact information will be on the final slide. So let's get started. Today, we're just going to be providing a baseline understanding of your franchise funding options most people don't know are available to them. So this is a slide from a previous chart that talks about the normal process, the franchise process. And if you're not familiar with the slide, if you haven't seen the previous webinar, I'll spend just a moment on this. So with my clients who are going through the franchise process, we have an initial call where I get to know more about them, their goals, their background, their business acumen, and I will send my clients a business assessment to take. Providing they do take the assessment, if they don't have the time to take the assessment, we have to pause or cancel or reschedule our next stage, which is the franchise research review. And this is where I take all the information I've learned from my franchise, it's in our initial call where we talk about industries they're interested in, or where I learn about their business acumen, their business values, business culture they'd be most comfortable in, and select 4 or 5 franchises to review with them. After this review Zoom call, I introduce my clients to FranFund, who is my favorite third-party funding vendor. FranFund works with my clients just to help them with their options. They do a free pre-approval, kind of like getting pre-approved for a home. Same with a franchise. So that's just a part of their service, and it's free to my clients to get themselves pre-approved. So if you're interested in learning more about this slide, please find my other webinar, pre-recorded webinar. It's called the Franchise Business Model. So with that in mind, we'll talk about some of the options that, going back a slide, that FranFund will go over with you in much detail. I always tell my clients I'll answer any question as long as you'll accept I don't know as an answer. I'm not a finance expert, but I do know enough to explain it at a high level. So one of the first options that you'll learn from FranFund is a platform called the Retirement Rollover Business Startup. So in 1974, the government was trying to increase our economy, very sluggish economy. They literally saw trillions of dollars sitting on the side in our retirement accounts that we can't touch unless we want to pay taxes, interest, and penalties. So the IRS came up with this new platform in 1974. The acronym is ROBS, which I think is appropriate for IRS. But anyway, this platform, you can use as much of your retirement funds as you'd like to finance your franchise. You don't have to empty out your retirement accounts just as much as you want to use in your investment. It does have to be administered by a qualified third-party funding vendor, and FranFund is qualified. They've done hundreds and hundreds of these ROBs. And what you'll learn is by using ROBs, you can use your funds, your retirement funds for business startup and not pay any taxes, no interest, no penalties, and no payback. And you can use it for any business expenses, startup funds, pay you or your family's salaries, buy a new company car, provide capital for the down payment on an SBA loan. Takes 2 to 4 weeks to get funding of the ROBs. And I have a kind of cartoonish representation of how this works. So for this presentation, let's assume you have $500,000 in retirement accounts right now, and you want to roll over $300,000 for your business startup. So if you were to hire FranFund, they do all this for you. This is part of their fee. First thing they're going to do is create a brand new C corporation. You get to name it. You own 100% of the equity, but their attorneys are going to make sure that it's done properly because they don't want any mistakes. They want the IRS to understand this is a qualified ROBs that we're working with. So they're going to create a C corp, and it has to be a C corp. It can't be an LLC or an S corp. Once that C corp is created and you own that 100%, FranFund is going to create a brand new 401k Schwab account, and you will own that. Once that 401k, now at this point you own a C corp and you own an empty 401k Schwab account. Now, once that is created, FranFund is going to roll out $300,000 into that brand new 401k Schwab account. So now at this point, you own a C corp and you have $200,000 in your O plans, and you got a new 401k Schwab account with $300,000. At this point, once that $300,000 lands in this new 401k, that 401k is going to purchase that C corp from you. So now at this point, the 401k is going to purchase that C corp for $300,000. So $300,000 gets rolled into your corporate bank account, and at this point, you've got $200,000 in your retirement accounts, and you have a 401k that owns the C corporation. You own the 401k, and you've got $300,000 in your corporate bank account. So it's kind of like what your retirement accounts are doing right now. If you think about it, your retirement accounts are probably putting your retirement funds into mutuals that are purchasing equity in C corporations, highly traded usually on the stock exchange. So it's the same thing. The IRS is looking at this as just another investment for your retirement accounts. Your retirement account invested $300,000 in this C corporation, and you own that 401k, but the 401k owns the C corporation. Now, a couple of SBA packages. One is, and FranFund will go over this as well. One is called the Express Loan, which is up to borrowing up to $150,000. It can be used for any kind of business acquisition, expansion. If you want to purchase a competitor later on, you can do that. You can use the funds for that. It has a 7-year payback at 2.75% above the prime rate. It is unsecured, not collateralized, and therefore off the books and doesn't affect credit rating. There's no prepayment penalty and 1 day of approval. Again, FranFund will go over this much deeper than I'm that my knowledge will even allow me to talk about. This takes about 2 to 4 weeks to get this fund as well. And then there's a dream loan up to $350,000. Again, used for any kind of business expenses. 10-year payback at the same 2.75% above the prime rate. This is going to be collateralized. If you're borrowing 350,000, you're buying trailers, you're buying trucks or vans, and so it will be collateralized using business assets. No prepayment penalty again, 2-day approval. And even though this says 4 to 6 weeks to get the funding, just recently, FranFund's told me it's taken 45 days. So say month and a half to 2 months to get this funding. And then there's a 7A up to $5 million. And I actually had one client, they purchased a huge area development and they needed $800,000 to purchase the franchise and to have the working capital to build it. So they used the 7A loan. Most of my clients, the express loan or the dream loan is perfectly suffice for them. In order to get an SBA loan, well, one thing, you have to be a USA citizen or hold a green card. You have to have a credit score greater than 685, 10 to 20% of the requested loan amount and non-borrowed sources. In other words, cash injection into that loan. If you want to borrow 200,000, you need $20,000 to $40,000 in non-borrowed sources. And no bankruptcies in the last 5 years, no open judgments or tax liens. So sometimes my clients would say, well, Rich, if I borrow $350,000, that means I need to come up with $35,000 to $70,000 in non-borrowed in cash. Where am I going to find that? I don't have that much in my couch cushions. So the nice thing about working with FranFund is you can roll over, instead of rolling over 300,000 like we showed here, you're rolling over $70,000. And so once that $70,000 is in your corporate bank account, that can be used for the down payment for your SBA loan. So you can combine these platforms. And FranFund will be happy to walk you through all these options again. So when I introduce you, the gentleman's name is Tyler Murphy, and you'll have his contact information in my email. I also have it in, I believe, the next slide. He's going to, when I introduce you to Tyler, he'll send you an email saying, it's great to meet you. Here's a link to my calendar. Please find some time for us to talk about your funding options. But he's also going to send you a link for a financial form for you to fill out. I ask that you please do fill out that form. It doesn't have any Social Security numbers. It has no bank accounts or even where your money's parked. It's just a high-level finances, your net worth, assets, equity, income streams, etc. And because he's going to use that to do your free pre-approval. And so we need that as soon as possible in our process. This slide just talks about combining the ROBS program with SBA down payments. And Tyler is just a really easy guy to work with. He's not going to sell you anything. His job is to help you just understand what your options are. So I want to thank you for attending the franchise funding options, and let me check my chat. I just have one question. How does your funding agency help me with funding? Are they selling me their products? No, they don't have products to sell. Tyler, the way they work is if you decide to hire them to do an SBA loan, they're going to put together your SBA package for you as part of their service. If you ever try to do one on your own, it'll guarantee it's going to be kicked back to you by the SBA about 10 times because you didn't dot the I's correctly and cross the T's correctly. So FranFund will create the SBA loan package for you, and they're going to they're going to submit it to 10 different institutions to get the best rates. Think of it like bidding it out to 10 institutions so that you get the best rates from 10 different institutions. And then FranFund will present to you the different options you have. So they have no products to sell you. They will either do the ROBs for you or the SBA or a combination of both of them for you, working with outside investment agencies. Excuse me. So thank you all for attending my funding presentations, funding options presentations. Hope you got a lot out of it. If you have any other questions, please feel free to email me, call me. I love talking with people of interest. And have a wonderful day. Enjoy your week, and God bless you.